Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being at our Wellness Hub with Monica Campana. Wherever you are in the world today, you're going to have a special treat. We have a wonderful lady. Her name is and guest Stephanie Herman, all the way from California. And today we already had her as a guest, but we are going to talk about a very special theme and subject today. First of all, Stephanie, the floor is yours. Tell us about yourself and how did you get to do what you're doing today?
In 5 words or less?
In 5 minutes. In five
Right.
minutes, we have 5 minutes, and then we're going to delve into this new subject, which is a champion mindset. You have a champion mindset. Many people have this mindset, even though they're not actual champions, but we're going to show them that they are. And there are some people that they don't know what to do, and we are going to awaken this champion mindset in them. So, Stephanie, tell us a little bit. I know it's hard because you have so much and you have done so much in your life. Tell us.
Well, if you don't know me, I was a principal ballerina, and at 5'9" tall and 6 feet on point is very unusual. But talk about mindsets, champion mindsets. That was one of the champion mindsets I think I needed to have in order to make it at my height. There have been other moments in my life after learning about this champion mindset that I was able to also put it into play. And that was a time when I was injured and doctors didn't know how to cure me. And I was lucky enough to be introduced to Pilates, which actually made me stronger than I was before. And throughout my life, I find we're always going to be struggling with problems or issues or things that will stop us from moving forward in the direction that we want to go in. And I feel if you just take a moment to really go deep inside yourself and not go into the negative as much, but allow the negative to educate you on solutions and ways to move forward. And it's almost like trying to be smarter. And I could share more if you want.
Absolutely, absolutely. We want to know everything, everything, as much as we can with the little time we have.
So basically, I just feel that life is going to throw you lemons. It's just part of life. It's like the ocean. The ocean comes up, there's waves, and it goes down. And if you embrace that about life, that's part of life. And when the downs are down, don't feel it's going to be down forever. And I think that's what happens is people tend to get so down and discouraged.
Like there's no way I can get out of here, but there's always a way. There is always a way, no matter how bad the situation. I mean, you were a ballerina, you were on top of your years also, and something happened, right? You had a big accident.
Well, it was an injury that just happened to have occurred. And I was actually during two times in my career, the latter part, it was 3 years where I could not walk more than 5 blocks without pain, actually 3 blocks, couldn't sit down, which I couldn't go to movies. I couldn't, well, nobody can now anyway. I couldn't go to restaurants, and I wasn't dancing, and my whole existence and my identity was not a dancer anymore. And I think one of the things that I did decide to do was to not believe that I could be injured for the rest of my life. And I think that's what doctors saw. So I researched even deeper. Sometimes I think people take doctors at face value. And, a doctor sees you maybe 3 times or 5 times, and you know yourself many more times than that. And so you have to question and think, okay, yes, they're saying this, but do I believe it? I'm going to do some research. I'm going to look into alternative methods. I'm going to try to figure out solutions. And yes, I might be stubborn, which is helpful, but I did take the time to learn more about the body in different ways, and I cured myself. And after I cured myself, I vowed that I would be helping others in my wellness program, Pilates Ballet wellness program.
Hmm.
And
And so basically not taking the doctor's words as the last, say, because
right,
that's what
right,
happens many times. Many people, they just follow blindly what
right.
the doctors say. And I used to be one of them. One of my sons had big problems when he was little. And until the moment that I said, you know what? I need to look, I need to start researching because I cannot. And I was talking to the specialist of the specialist from Israel and American relations, pulmonologist, and it wasn't right. My heart was telling me this cannot be it. There
Well, if
must
you
be another
think of,
way.
yeah, if you think of a scientist, scientists explore different options till they come up with a creation or a solution. And I think people need to think that way. Doctor is not God. Doctor is got the medical degree, and the doctor is very smart. And you can resonate with what the doctor says or not resonate. And just take a moment to think it through. Do you believe in what that doctor says? Do you want to do more research to make what the doctor's saying true or not true? And I'm not taking the validity away from doctors at all, not at all. I think doctors are fabulous, but I think people need to think for themselves also and
Exactly.
research.
Exactly. Now, going back to the fact that you told me that at some point you were training 5, 6 hours a day, right? Now, this is also a champion mindset. The training, the persistence, the determination, the discipline that then in life, I believe that when you have it in sports, well, ballerina and ballet is a sport to me. It's
Athletic,
an
right?
entertaining. I mean, it's
Artistic
a
and
how do
athletic.
you, and you can apply it to life. And I believe that so many people that go through the intense training that you had, then in life they have like an extra uh, help, incentive, or to keep going and to give the best that they can in business too. Is it true?
Absolutely. I think that I learned so much through the ballet world, uh, discipline and the process of things don't happen right away unless you rehearse more or you give it more time. And I've used that training in my life in so many different ways. I produced my own one woman show and I only had 3 months to do it in. And it was like, how do I do this? And okay, wait a minute, let me think. What are the things I've learned in my past and how can I apply this? And how can I not freak out? And how do I go through the process with confidence, even though I'm freaking out?
Yes, and not lose it, and not just not do anything because you're too afraid, uh, many times to fail. I guess we're afraid to fail many times, so we don't do it. And that's one thing that we need to overcome often. Otherwise we don't try new things, and we don't try um, So this is wonderful. And so how else would you have, do you think, this is a big question that I have, do you think that people are actually born with this desire to do more, to give more, to train and give their best, or they develop it according to, you know, the environment or the situation they live in?
I think people are born with many different things. That's what makes the world so different, and people are very different. So I couldn't say everyone is born with this. I think that we have certain genes, and it depends on the way our parents, bring us up, or the siblings around us, or the school, or the environment play a major role in developing who we are. I believe that we have a certain way about being, and sometimes you don't let anybody else break that down, or you do allow people to break it down because you don't own the confidence. I think confidence comes with training. I think confidence comes with experience. It's not overnight. It's something I think you learn. Some people are born with more confidence than others, and the parents give them more confidence, maybe. But I think if you don't have confidence and you're born with more insecurities within your environment, there, I think, ways to slowly come out of it. And there are tools. You could start meditating more positive words in your life. You can start thinking of focusing on half full instead of half empty. If you find you can't do that, pick a mantra of some, like, 5 words that: I believe I can, I believe I can, I believe I can. Say it 30 times to yourself till you almost start believing it. And research different ways of owning better confidence. I think that's very important.
Yeah, and you can develop it even if you don't have it for various reasons. Exactly. I was actually born in a family where, I don't know, criticism and negativity was everywhere. So I had to really, um, learn to not absorb it, and just focus on the positive, focus on the good.
How did you do that?
Oh, it took me years and years, and reading lots of books and lots
Right,
of
right.
motivational sentences. My art, the art that I create, is actually 90%. There are motivational sentences hidden in my art,
Cool.
works of art, that when people look from the distance, you don't see anything. And then you get closer and you start reading all these sentences and words that are, positive. And the more you look at them, the more you read them, the more you repeat them, the more you believe in them. And then slowly, slowly, you start shifting um,
Right.
these doubts and these, when you're trained to think negative, it's quite hard to reprogram yourself
Exactly.
and switch
Exactly.
everything. And or maybe also very, like, people are very perfectionists. So they, until everything is perfect, they're never going to do anything. And I used to be like that, and then I learned nothing is ever going to be perfect. You just have to do it, make the best out of what you have at the moment, and go with it,
I
because, and
totally
adjust as you go. So it's a process, but when
Well,
you like to have
it,
everything perfect, it's not easy. Yeah.
it's important to be in the moment. I think what happens is when we start doubting ourselves, we're kind of like, we're out of ourselves, and there's our other selves that are looking at us and judging us. So it's almost like the left brain is like saying, oh, you're so bad, you're negative, you're judgmental, you're not good enough, you're this, you're that. So you're not in the moment. You're kind of out of the moment. If you're in the moment and you start thinking, oh my God, I'm feeling negative. But if you allow yourself to be in the moment, that negative, like the ocean, will change. It will go back into up, you know. And acting classes taught me a lot about that, of being in the moment and trusting whatever. So I remember once when I was in a ballet and I didn't do a pirouette, and the rest of the ballet I kept thinking, I didn't do that pirouette, I didn't do that instead of like, oh well, I didn't do the pirouette, I gotta still jump and I still gotta do a passe and I still have to do arabesque. I'm just like in the moment, opposed to letting that negative moment guide you throughout the rest of the ballet.
Hmm. Yeah, they're all techniques that you develop with time and allow you to get to the next level. But it's constant. Me too. I have this. It's my right. I'm an ambidextrous person, so my rational and irrational side are always talking to each other. And but you have to let the mindfulness, which is really the right side, the more creative side, come out more and more by doing exercises, breathing exercises, and that bring you to the moment, as you say. Yeah, very
So with
important.
I work with some dancers and I work with teaching them some of these tools and take them through these exercises where just for like 30 seconds you have to say all the words that define what you're feeling in the moment. And what I noticed in the very beginning, people are very shy and they don't know how to do it. And they're trying to be what you want them to be. And eventually, by doing this exercise over and over again, they start relaxing and starting to have confidence in, being whatever they are in the moment. People are scared to say, I'm, I'm, insecure. They might say I'm shy. That's an okay word. Or they're not going to say I'm sad right away because they want to be, I'm okay, everything is good. But if you allow yourself to be whatever you are, then the flow of who you are just is, and it helps you to be in the being in the moment.
Yes, and also one thing while you were talking, it reminded me of the fact that for many years I was always worried about what other people thought, and oh, what are they gonna think about it? What if I do? And shifting that to yourself and saying, you know what? I don't have time to think about what other people think. I'm too busy doing things. So let them think whatever they want and come up with their own, I don't have time for this. So that's a big thing. It was a big thing for me at
Oh, that's
many points.
confidence, Monica. You
Yes.
you finally got to that moment. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, it took me a while.
Journey.
But well, yes, I believe that everybody has the power to um, to succeed and to be themselves and to do things that maybe they were in their minds, but they never really had the courage to do them. So you just have to not think too much, not overthink too much. Sometimes we get a little bit stuck, right, in our own world, and we create problems that are not there. We just have to, you know,
So the
take
fun
the jump.
Yeah, so I was a ballerina and then I was a fitness Pilates expert master. And then at the age of 67, I decided to produce a one-woman show and go on stage again. And then at the age of 69, I decided I'm going to write my memoir. And I started writing, and I found myself being stuck on the first paragraph, redoing it and redoing it because it was not good enough. And this is not right. And what am I going to say? And how am I going to do it? And luckily, I was smart enough to hire a writing coach, Darlene Frank, who said, look, just let's figure out what the plan is. What's going to be chapter one, chapter two, what's the beginning, the middle, the end. And
And
she
fill it
kind of
in.
put sense into it and said, now just follow these guidelines and just start writing. And all of a sudden it's like, now I've finished my first draft. I'm editing my second draft, and the book should be out like maybe this summer.
All right, Stephanie. And what else are you doing right now? You're still helping. We have a few minutes. You're helping people. You're giving them
Virtually.
Special Pilates
Pilates
classes.
Ballet. My program's Pilates Ballet by Stephanie Herman, which is a wellness program. It's like a 3-step program. The first step is virtually, I will give you a fitness assessment, and I'll diagnose where things are going wrong, what's your goals in life, do you have compensation patterns that are giving you some pain? And many people who have been injured and doctors can't cure, I have a different eye and I look at people very differently. So after the fitness assessment, I go, yeah, I know exactly how I can help you. These are the ways. This is what I see. And then they start with a 10-step program where I educate them on how their bones, their skeleton, like an architectural building, is set, and then how to put the elevator in, meaning you have your skeleton, you have your pelvis, but do you know how your pelvis moves? And once you understand how your bones move, you'll start to understand the harmony of the muscle isolation that moves with it. So it's like the bone moves, and which muscles will help the bones in their movement, and how to neuropathically feel and control this. And after they learn this in 10 steps, they then strengthen it and apply it in the next sessions. So look up
Wonderful. And
Pilates
they
Ballet.
find everything, all the information is on the post, right? They find it through the you have a website. And then do you have also a Facebook group? Yes.
Yes, I do. It's all Pilates Ballet by Stephanie Herman, and my website is pilatesballet.com. And yeah.
She's one of the best, guys. So it's I'm telling you, and they can have like a consultation call with you, right? So they find
They
out.
can call me, and that's free, and we can discuss how I think I can help. And then from there, we do a virtual Zoom fitness assessment that they will pay for, and they will
Wonderful.
not regret it.
No, wonderful. Well, you heard her. She is incredible, and her knowledge is immense. And I hope I can see you. I will see you again because there's so much to talk about with you, Stephanie. It's always wonderful to have you here. I hope that everyone received a lot of value from what we said today. And if they need someone, a specialist in Pilates, they know who to talk to. Thank you again for being here, Stephanie. It was wonderful to have you. And until next time,
Thank you, Monica. It's always a delight. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Take
thank you. Mwah. See you
care.
soon.
Okie dokie.